The Western Cape High Court has ordered the City of Cape Town, Home Affairs, SAPS and Refugees to meet to find a solution. The application by the city has been postponed until Friday. Now, this is regarding the violation of the city's bylaws. For the latest on this story, let's cross live now to our reporter Athi Mtongana, who has been tracking those developments for us. A very good afternoon to you, Athi. What is the latest regarding the situation now with the refugees as well as the authorities on the ground?
A very good afternoon to you, Tammy. Well, before I begin into the merits of the case, which transpired outside the Western Cape High Court and, of course, inside courtroom 20, that's where the refugees case was heard earlier on this morning. I'm going to ask my colleague Athi Mtongana, I'm going to move out of shot so we can zoom in and perhaps try to give you an idea of the scenes and how it looks like outside the Central Methodist Church here in Cape Town. As you can see, women who are part of this group, which has been sitting and staging, a stay really inside the Methodist Church, have been cooking outside. Mothers have been cooking for everyone really that is occupying the Methodist Church, and they've been using the streets and the pavements of the city of Cape Town to do so, and they've also made makeshift beds around the area. Now, this is exactly what the city of Cape Town says the refugees are in breach of the city's bylaws. They've also made claims and allegations that the refugees have been intimidating tourists. Remember, this is the beginning of the holiday season, and we heard the city of Cape Town coming out to say that the refugees have allegedly been trying to intimidate tourists in and around the area. And they also made mention inside court, Tammy, that the refugees staying here at the Methodist Church and on the streets and on the pavements of the Green Market Square has resulted in some of the shops around the area being closed, something that JP, representing the refugees, strongly argued against this morning inside court. And I have him with me. He's one of the leaders. JP, you were inside court this morning addressing the judge who was presiding over this matter, and you refuted the claims by the city of Cape Town that the refugees are not in breach of the city's bylaws and that the refugees are not in any way intimidating tourists and those who are walking around the area. And in fact, the businesses that are around the Methodist Church are fully functional.
Yeah, as you heard in court, is that those are various claims that the lawyer of the city or the city itself brought to the courts. And those are kind of defamation information that they brought to the courts, which we say that shows that the inhuman treatment that the city of Cape Town always have toward people of other type of color. So what I can say is that the city of Cape Town, what they are using is they don't have a sense of humor where they have to treat everyone equally. I had to remind them also that no matter how he might think, refugees being within the borders of South Africa are also part of South Africa, because that's the preamble of the Constitution of South Africa. And South Africa. Bylaws, some people using bylaws to suppress and abuse and oppress as well refugees, or not only refugees, people who are in a situation where they cannot support themselves. And that's what the apartheid regime used to use before, when they were segregating, abusing black people in South Africa. And that's what the conduct of the city, especially from J.P. Smith and this Danny Plato, are doing. We had to mention, and we put it in our claim that what we put inside. But what came to our attention, we really appreciate that there are people or courts that still have to stand for the right of everyone. When the judge stood and said that could not be possible, the way the city do not care, they won't need to use excessive force to come and break and beat. They didn't care. They said that's the only solution, and they were pressurizing the police to come and do it with or without the court's order. But we appreciate the judgment of today, which the judge said that we have to resolve this situation in a way of, in a good way, amicably, and see, because people, as they are here, they don't have a place where to go. As he was claiming that he knows very well that people has their places. So we would like to pose a question to the city and their lawyer that represent them, that if they can provide us with the proof where they have provided refugees houses, so that they can say with tangible proof that we always give them houses, they don't want to stay in their houses.
Now, JP, what I want to get from you is you have been leading the group for quite some time. It's been over a month with mothers and children camping outside here. And you've been talking with the Human Rights Commission. You've been talking with the United Nations for the High Commissioner for Refugees, the Department of Home Affairs, all the stakeholders that are involved. Now, this meeting that has been called and ordered by the court to take place tomorrow, do you believe, as a leader who's been leading the people that are inside this church, that an amicable and sustainable solution will come out of that meeting that will take place? Because we know you've had these meetings before.
Yeah, we've had this meeting before, but we heard from the judge that she said herself that in a statement that these people, where are they going to be taken? And these people deserve to be given a shelter. And the city, that's the mandate of the city, to provide a shelter to these people, whether they like it or not, but it's within their mandates to do so. They have a lot of empty buildings which are not used. They have a lot of places which are not used. So why, instead of using repressive laws and abusive laws, apartheid laws, why not providing a temporary shelter until when the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees will come to its sense and come to do its work in order to assist refugees who are not feeling safe to be in South Africa. And also something that I would like to state is that the city of Cape Town claims about tourists being intimidated. You are here, you can witness. There is no tourist that is afraid to walk around. We protected refugees not only once, but twice, whom were about to be robbed in the bank. We even arrested people that were robbing the tourists. The security officer, the security here that is guiding this place, you can ask them to get clarification. And thirdly is that Human Rights Commission, we don't say all of them are bad. But what I'm trying to say that this Chris Nielsen, he doesn't know what he's doing. And we will never like to see him with any meeting that involving us in UNS, and we don't want at all. I'm refuting. And I'm saying this because of lies and conspiring with the city. You could hear what his friend said, that lawyer. He just mentioned, he didn't even mention the clergy, like the Archbishop saying that he was beaten. He had to mention his colleague, his friends that he trusts. When they bring him, he will come to life.
That's Athi Mtongana coming to us live from the city of Cape Town, where the situation with the refugees is still trying to be handled. The High Court has said that all the relevant stakeholders need to sit down, talk and come up with a solution.